Good morning, traders. This is Shane Scott, the moderator of Newsware's Trade Talk. At Trade Talk, we're providing you with the up-to-the-minute news on the market, along with the facts, themes, and short-term trading ideas for the day ahead. Joining me today is our trading anchor, Bill Olson, who brings over 30 years of institutional trading knowledge to our program. Let's get things started with our markets update. U.S. futures are on the rise this morning, with S&P futures up 0.21%, Dow futures up 0.09%, and NASDAQ futures up 0.49%. Alongside rising equity futures is the dollar, while bonds are halted from their slide as corporate earnings come into play. In regards to oil and its ongoing price ascent, the OPEC said it will keep pushing to quickly clear the surplus left behind by the pandemic. Traders are renewing reflation bets amid signs that the economic recovery is gathering pace and the imminent passage of the $1.9 trillion pandemic aid by U.S. lawmakers. Friday's payroll report may provide fresh momentum after the private sector added more jobs than forecasted in January. Over in Europe, stocks ticked upward amid mixed company performance results. Bill, what are you seeing as far as market updates?
Well, Shane, I've been watching the S&P futures all morning, and they were essentially flat all morning long. Not showing this huge direction either way. And around 7:30, it started to move higher, and now you're seeing the futures up. But I'll say solidly, but that could easily change. So that's a positive. I'm looking at the jobs data that's coming out a little later this morning. We think that's going to be good, and then of course you have the outlook into tomorrow's non-farm payrolls report. You got some good quality earnings coming out this afternoon, and the FOMC officials, were very positive on the direction of the U.S. economy. I mean, a bunch of them were making statements yesterday, and they feel that the economy is really on the right track. You look at President Biden, he's still pushing forward with the stimulus plan. He's willing to negotiate on who gets the checks, but not the amount. So that's a big sign that this thing's going to move forward. And later this afternoon, you have earnings out on Activision, ATVI, Ford, Gilead, GILD, PINS, PINS, Pinterest, Peloton, PTON, Snap, SNAP, and TMUS, TMUS.
Well, let's go ahead and move into our earnings to watch today. Bill, what type of earnings are we expecting?
Well, let's talk about what happened, just recently. We have Qualcomm that came out. They delivered a 7-cent beat on lower revenue. Stock was down, 7% early this morning. QROV, they delivered a 40-cent beat on higher revenue. They're down 6% this morning. Grubhub, they missed by 46% on lower revenue, and the stock is, down 2.7% this morning. eBay, on the other hand, they did a 3-cent beat on higher revenue. They raised guidance, and the stock's up 10%. PayPal delivered an 8% beat on higher revenue. They're up 5.91%. Clorox, 25-cent beat on higher revenue. They're up. And Sally Beauty Supply, SBH, they delivered a 3-cent beat this morning, and the stock is trading higher as we speak.
How about insights as far as upcoming earning announcements?
Well, PINS, PINS, they're set for a 15.45% move when they release this afternoon. Snap is set for an 11% move when they release. Activision, a 3.8% move when they release. Decker Outdoors, DECK, you're looking for an 11.34% move when they release. And TMUS, T-Mobile, TMUS, they're posed for a 3.87% move. Now, PINS, PINS, this is, everyone's going to be watching this. Wedbush came out and they feel that they still have upside in 2021, given the company's ability to continue benefiting from strong e-commerce tailwinds. According to a research they put out, I feel the stock's a bit pricey at this level. Snap, there's a analyst that came out and said that conversations with marketers during the holiday seasons were the most bullish ever. This came from an Evercore analyst. And Activision, ATVI, this is interesting because in early December, the company said that its World of Warcraft games sold 3.7 million units on its first day, which makes it the fastest selling PC game ever. They also released a new game from their successful Call of Duty series in November. So, that's going to be interesting, ATVI.
Well, let's go ahead and move into economic reports. Bill, what type of reports we seeing today?
We got early this morning, we got the ADP employment report at 8:30 this morning. The jobless claims numbers are coming out, as well as the figures on productivity and costs. At 10 o'clock, we got the factory orders. And at 1 o'clock, guess who's speaking? The Dallas Fed Bank president, Robert Kaplan. I think this makes 3 days in a row for this guy.
Moving into our morning's critical insights, starting things off with DraftKings, ticker DKNG. This company and the NFL are expanding their reach to Canada. So, with the increased content partnership in daily fantasy sports in the neighboring country ahead of the Super Bowl, DraftKings share price is up 3.59% in pre-market. In other news, Cario Farm, ticker KPTI, announced that its partner Promedico has received a principal approval letter from the Israeli Ministry of Health granting approval of Expovio for the treatment of refractory multiple myeloma. Cario Farm's share price is up 1.63% in pre-market. One on United Health, ticker UNH. The CEO, David Wickman, is retiring with Andrew Whitty as his successor. United Health's share price is up 0.22% in pre-market. In other news, Merck, ticker MRK, CEO Kenneth Frazier is retiring with Robert Davis to succeed the role effective July 1st. In other news, the genetic testing company 23andMe is going public through a merger with Richard Branson's SPAC VG Acquisition, that's ticker VGAC, in a $3.5 billion merger. The deal is expected to close in the second quarter. VG Acquisition share price is up 15.81% in pre-market. One on Walmart, ticker WMT. It's set to buy ad tech from Thunder Industries. Walmart is up 0.32% in pre-market. Last one for me, AstraZeneca, ticker AZN. The company's treatment to reduce heart failure, Forxiga, has been approved for use in China. AstraZeneca's share price is up 0.96% in pre-market. Bill, what are you seeing as far as this morning's news?
Shane, I break my news alerts down into specific segments and events. I'm really looking to capture those hot news stories quickly so I can get in before the price action starts to move. I have this thing alert. There's always some good news stories around it. And this morning, one of the biggest ones out there is the new Senate antitrust panel chair, who is Amy Klobuchar. She's proposing much tougher antitrust laws. So this is kind of a negative for the FANG stocks because they're really being hit with anti-competitive behavior. So we're going to have to see how this plays out. I just in a follow up from yesterday. Yesterday we talked about Apple and Kia, and we gave out that headline how Apple's making an investment in Kia. Mm-hmm. I see it in the papers today. I hear it on the news stations. We delivered it yesterday. But a change to it is that, Kia is scheduled to host an Investors Day on February 9th. So it's very likely this is going to be the hot topic. So you're going to be looking for, a little price movement in Apple stock going into that February 9th analyst date of another company. So watch that February 9th date. In search news for Google, they apparently have threatened to quit providing search facilities in Australia. There's a big blowback going on between the government of Australia and Google, and these other search engines are sitting around just waiting to jump in for the opportunity. My Dow Jones alerts, listen, I had the Merck and I had the UNH. I mean, UNH at 335, it's a good price. Should trade a little lower once it opens up. Merck is kind of trading at a low price right now. They did miss on earnings, but they increased their guidance. So we'll have to see how the shares of Merck react this morning to the news of the CEO retiring. My buyback alert. Quest Diagnostics. This is ticker DGX. They announced a $1 billion stock buyback plan. And ticker TT, Train Incorporated, they approved a $2 billion buyback plan. Chubb, ticker CB, announced that their board of directors authorized an increase of $1 billion to the company's share repurchasing program that was previously announced on November 19th. My stock split news hit on Daimler. This is a European company, but it was Daimler Chrysler, and they're splitting into two companies, and they're listing their truck unit separately as an individual company. Daimler stock is moving off of this news. And my dividend alert, CME, they announced that they're raising their quarterly dividend to 90 cents. That's up from 85 cents. And DGX, Quest Diagnostics, they're raising their dividend to 62 cents from 56 cents.
Well, moving into our trade talk picks for today, I'm picking VG Acquisition. So let's take a VGAC. I just spoke about it earlier. 23andMe going public with Richard Branson's back, it's a big deal because 23andMe is a big name. It's a very popular company, and a lot of people use it, very consistently. Richard Branson's obviously a huge name, and so something being tied to him is also hot news. And it's a big merger, $3.5 billion. So, we don't know what price they're getting this at. So there's a little bit of a mystery to that. And that could be something that can add an element of uncertainty with making this our pick. And it's also up rather high, floating between 15 and 16%. But this is a momentum play, and this is hot news. And I want to think that we can get up another 1.5 off of this news. So I might look at this one going in a little bit later than just the open, maybe 10 a.m., 10:30 a.m., seeing if there's a dip in that price and expecting it to have a rise from there. So that's my first pick. I'm also looking at an earnings play. I think Snap is definitely one that could see some appreciation. And, just like Bill was mentioning, it's got a very bull quarter. And, on top of that, just think about the fact that we're still facing some isolation, pandemic, and people are still kind of in lockdown mode. And a lot of people use Snap, especially now. So this is one that, the advertisements keep rolling and money keeps going in. So I could see this one definitely making some gains as well. So that's my two picks. What's your pick looking like, Bill?
I'm going with Activision, ticker ATVI. Run into earnings. I look at the option volumes, very positive yesterday. Game sales momentum really should create an anticipation of an earnings beat this afternoon. And that really creates the opportunity for the stock to move higher off of the opening print. So I think that you can see some gains in ATVI. I also looked at the Snap and the other ones, pins. Their prices are elevated. So these guys better come through with some good earnings. But I like ATV. I think there's good momentum there today.
Mm-hmm. Well, moving into what's hot off the press, this is the news that's hitting the tape as we speak that will be moving the stocks today. So let's go ahead and get right into it. And Bill, looking at our newswire alerts, seeing all the headlines streaming in, which are the ones we should be letting traders know about?
Well, here, Ralph Lauren, ticker RL. They just released earnings a few minutes ago. Stock beat by 4 cents. It was on lower revenue. Interesting thing is that the company said that they're planning to reinstate the dividend next year. So that means they're expecting things to really turn around for the company second half of this year and into next year. I also see Chipotle, ticker CMG. They came out and they said same store sales were up 11%. So that's a positive for Chipotle. Madison Square Garden, MSGN, they're planning to unveil free-to-play gaming apps for sports fans. So that's kind of an interesting thing to look at. There's this ticker CLOV. This is Clover Health. The stock's trading lower this morning. There was a research report from Hindenburg saying that they misled investors. It's one to keep an eye on. Ticker Charlie, Larry, Oscar, Victor.
One on Yum, ticker YUM. Yum Brands said that they have a temporary closure standing at around 1,000 stores.
Here's one from Cisco. Their App Dynamics delivers the industry-first solution for strengthening security posture against threats while achieving peak application performance.
One on rideshare rental, ticker YAYO. Rideshare Rental announced Equitas Group to become the controlling stockholder.
I see that the U.S. jobless claims fell 33,000 to 779K in last week.
One from eBank, ticker EBON. eBank has just completed chip design for simultaneous LTC. Looks like that they're announcing the company has completed the designs of a chip for them and Dogecoin mining as an addition to their portfolio of cryptocurrency mining chip designs.
NVAX, and the government of Switzerland announced an agreement in principle to supply them with their COVID-19 vaccine. CRVS, Corvus Pharmaceutical, launches the phase 3 clinical trial of their COVID-19 treatment candidate.
Anything else interesting for you, Bill?
Kohl's, KSS, they reported a preliminary Q4 earnings of $1 to $1.05, where the consensus was 70 cents. Revenues are down 10%. So that's something to take a look at KSS this morning, but that's all I'm seeing.
Same here. So that'll do it as far as what's hot off the press. But traders, keep in mind that you can receive these same breaking stories just like us simply by subscribing at newsware.com. Check us out for a free trial today. It will definitely up your trading game. Moving into our scoreboard, talking about how our picks did from yesterday, from Wednesday, I had GW Pharmaceuticals. That's ticker GWPH. It opened $215 and closed at $211.37 for a 1.68% loss. Second pick was Meritor, ticker MTOR, opened at $30.60 and closed at $30.20 for a 1.3% loss. Not a huge hit taken by either of these, but didn't have the upside that we were expecting. So not the best picks, but we're moving forward. How'd your pick end up doing, Bill?
Well, I went with Sally's Beauty Supply. That's ticker SBH yesterday. It's a relatively inexpensive stock, but it opened up at $15.77 and ran to $16.14. That's a 2.3% move. It's always difficult. You can't always get out of the high, but when you're up 1-2%, you got to really think about taking the gains. But if you held on to it, into the earnings report, it's up another 3.7%. You're which is to 16.55 earlier this morning. That's almost a 5% gain. So Sally Beauty Supply, ticker SBH, was a good hit, good trade yesterday off of yesterday's opening print.
Nice. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Trade Talk. But traders, you know what to do. Let's get out there. Let's make some green.